Imagine you're at the end of your life. You look back at all the moments, big and small, and ask yourself one question. Did I truly live? Most of us go through life rushing, worrying, or waiting for the right time. But what if I told you that the Stoics, some of the wisest minds in history, left us a blueprint for living fully right now? Life is unpredictable, and no one knows how much time they have left. Yet, we often get caught up in trivial matters, forgetting what truly matters. The ancient Stoics believed that understanding life's deeper lessons could help us live more meaningfully and face the end without regret. In this video, we'll explore 7 powerful Stoic lessons, wisdom that has stood the test of time. These teachings can change the way you see your life, your challenges, and even your purpose. Whether you're struggling with stress, feeling lost, or just want to live with more clarity, these lessons are for you. Stay with me until the end, because lesson number 7 might completely shift the way you live from this day forward. Lesson 1. Memento Mori, remember you will die. One of the most important lessons the Stoics teach us is the idea of memento mori, which means remember you will die. At first, this may sound dark or unsettling, but it's actually one of the most powerful ways to live a meaningful life. The Stoics believed that by constantly reminding ourselves of our mortality, we can live with greater purpose and clarity. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and Roman emperors, practiced this daily. He would reflect on his own death and the temporary nature of life. He didn't do this out of fear, but to wake himself up to the reality that time is limited. Every day is a gift, and every moment we have is precious. By acknowledging that we will eventually die, we can stop wasting time on things that don't matter and focus on what truly does. This lesson teaches us to stop putting things off. How many times have you said, "I'll do that tomorrow," or "I'll start living the life I want later"? The truth is, we may not have a later. The reality of our mortality is a call to action, to stop procrastinating and start living intentionally. When you live each day as though it could be your last, you make better choices, cherish your relationships, and prioritize what truly brings value to your life. Think about it. If you knew you had only one day left, what would you do differently? Would you spend your time on social media? Or would you reach out to a loved one, express gratitude, or work on your passions? Memento Mori isn't about living in fear. It's about using the knowledge of your eventual death to inspire you to live fully now. So, take a moment today to reflect on this lesson. Remember that life is short, and make the most of the time you have. Lesson 2. Focus on what you can control. One of the most powerful Stoic lessons is to focus only on what you can control. The Stoics believed that our peace of mind depends on this simple truth. We can't control everything that happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. In fact, Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said it perfectly. Some things are up to us and some things are not. Think about the stress in your life right now. Maybe it's a difficult situation at work, a problem with a friend, or even global events that seem out of your hands. The Stoics would tell you that you can't control any of these external things, but you can control your reaction to them. Instead of letting life's challenges control your emotions, you get to choose how you respond. For example, let's say you're stuck in traffic. You can't change the fact that the cars aren't moving, but you can control how you react. You can choose to get frustrated and angry, or you can decide to use that time to listen to an audiobook, practice deep breathing, or simply enjoy the moment of stillness. The same goes for any difficult situation. If someone is rude to you, you can't control their actions, but you can control how you react, whether you choose kindness, calmness, or simply to walk away. By focusing on what you can control, you stop wasting energy on things that drain you and start investing in things that make you stronger. It's about taking responsibility for your own actions, thoughts, and emotions. The world outside of you is often unpredictable, but within your mind, you have the power to choose peace. So, the next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what part of this can I control? Focus on that. Let go of the rest. You'll find that life becomes much easier when you focus on what truly matters, your thoughts, your actions, and your response to the world around you. Lesson 3. Practice negative visualization. One of the most powerful Stoic exercises is called negative visualization. It might sound a bit strange at first, but stay with me, it's a game changer. Negative visualization simply means imagining the worst-case scenario, not to make you anxious, but to help you appreciate what you have right now. Here's how it works. Take a moment to close your eyes and think about losing something or someone important to you. Could be your job, your health, or even a loved one. What would your life be like without it? The goal isn't to dwell on these negative thoughts, but to recognize the value of what you currently have. The Stoics believed that by mentally preparing for loss, we can avoid taking things for granted. Think about your phone for a moment. We all rely on it. Messages, work, entertainment, everything. Now imagine you lost it. No more quick access to information, no more social media scrolling, and no more easy communication. You might realize how much you depend on it. By visualizing losing it, you start to appreciate how valuable it truly is, instead of just seeing it as something you use without a second thought. This exercise isn't about becoming pessimistic. It's about shifting your mindset. By practicing negative visualization, you begin to focus on the things you're grateful for. It helps you live with intention and embrace each moment. You'll also start to see that most of the things we worry about are minor in the grand scheme of life. We waste time stressing about things that might never happen. So, take a few minutes today to practice this. Imagine losing something important to you and then ask yourself, what would I miss the most? Use that feeling to fuel your appreciation for what you have right now. This simple exercise, though tough at first, can help you live more fully, appreciate the present, and stop taking things for granted. Lesson 4. Amor fati, love your fate. Life isn't always easy. We face obstacles, disappointments, and unexpected challenges. Sometimes it feels like the world is against us. But the Stoics had a powerful perspective that can change the way we see difficulties. Amor fati, which means love your fate. The Stoics didn't just accept life's challenges, they embraced them. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, wrote in his journal that whatever happens, whether good or bad, is part of nature's plan. He believed everything, even suffering, has a purpose. Instead of fighting against what happens to us, the Stoics encourage us to love it. This might sound strange at first. How can we love something bad, like a failure or a loss? But when you start to view life's difficulties as opportunities for growth, they begin to change. For example, imagine you lose your job. Naturally, you might feel angry, upset, or worried. But instead of resisting what happened, Amor fati teaches you to accept it as part of your path. Maybe this loss leads to a better opportunity or pushes you to develop new skills. Perhaps it teaches you resilience or patience. By embracing whatever comes your way, you stop fighting life and start flowing with it. When we learn to love our fate, we free ourselves from frustration and regret. We stop wasting energy on things we can't change and focus on making the best of what we have. It's about trusting that life's twists and turns are there for a reason, even if we can't see the full picture right now. Next time you face a setback, remember, Amor fati isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to accept everything as it is, with the belief that it will make you stronger in the end. Embrace your fate, love it, and watch how it transforms the way you live. Lesson 5. The importance of virtue. In a world filled with distractions and chaos, the Stoics believe that the most important thing to focus on is not wealth, status, or fame, but virtue. Virtue is the foundation of a good life. It's about being the best version of yourself, guided by 4 key principles: courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance. Courage is about standing up for what's right, even when it's hard. It's not just physical bravery, it's moral courage. It's having the strength to make difficult choices and face challenges without backing down. Think about moments in your life where you've had to speak up or take action, even though it wasn't easy. That's the kind of courage the Stoics admired. Wisdom means knowing what truly matters and making decisions based on that understanding. It's not about knowing everything, but about making better choices, learning from experience, and seeing things clearly. It's about understanding that not everything is as important as we think. Wisdom helps us focus on the right things and ignore the noise. Justice is about treating others fairly and with respect. The Stoics believe that we should act with kindness and fairness, whether we're dealing with strangers or loved ones. Justice means thinking beyond our own needs and considering the well-being of others. Imagine how different the world would be if everyone lived with a sense of justice and fairness. Finally, temperance is about self-control. It's the ability to enjoy life without overindulging. Temperance teaches us to balance our desires, not let them control us. Whether it's food, work, or entertainment, temperance helps us avoid excess and live a more peaceful life. When you focus on living with virtue, you're not just improving yourself, you're also improving the world around you. The Stoics knew that a life guided by virtue is a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. So, ask yourself today, which of these virtues do you need to work on most? Lesson 6. The present moment is all you have. Have you ever caught yourself thinking about the past or worrying about the future, only to realize that you've missed the moment right in front of you? The Stoics believed that the only time you truly have is the present moment. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, often reminded himself, confine yourself to the present. What does that mean? It means focusing on what's happening right now, instead of dwelling on things you can't change or worrying about what's to come. We all get distracted. We get stuck thinking about past mistakes, or we're constantly anxious about the future. But here's the truth. Neither the past nor the future can be controlled, only the present. Imagine you're having a conversation with a friend, but your mind keeps drifting to something that happened a week ago or to a problem coming up tomorrow. In doing so, you're missing the most important part, the interaction with your friend. The Stoics would tell you to pull your focus back to this moment, because this is all you can control. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the past or the future. It means putting your energy into what you can do right now. If you're reading this, you're already taking action. But what about the things you've been putting off? The conversation you've been avoiding, the task you've been procrastinating on, or the dream you've been too afraid to chase? Don't let them slip by because they are part of the now. Try this simple practice. Every time your mind starts wandering, gently bring it back to the moment. Focus on your breath, notice the sounds around you, or engage fully in the task at hand. Over time, you'll notice that life feels more fulfilling and less stressful. Remember, the present is all you've got. So why waste it on things that don't matter? Live fully in the now, and you'll experience life in its most powerful form. Lesson 7. Live as if today were your last day. Imagine if today was the last day you had. How would you live it? What would you do? Would you be so focused on the small problems that annoy you, or would you make the most of every moment? The Stoics believed that constantly reminding yourself of your mortality is one of the most powerful ways to live a meaningful life. They didn't see this as something to be afraid of, but rather something to embrace. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote in his Meditations, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This is a call to action. The realization that time is limited makes us more intentional with our choices, more present with the people we care about, and more focused on what truly matters. Think about it. If you knew today was your last, what would you regret? Would you wish you had spent more time with family? Would you wish you hadn't stressed over things that didn't matter? The Stoics teach us that by living each day as if it were our last, we start to let go of the trivial things and focus on the essential. We stop taking time for granted. By living with urgency, you begin to live more fully. You take chances, speak your truth, and live with kindness. Every day becomes an opportunity to live your best life. You let go of fear, knowing that if today is your last, you've done everything you could to make it meaningful. So, ask yourself, if today were your last, would you be proud of how you spent it? Don't wait until it's too late to start living with purpose. Make today count, because tomorrow is never promised. This is what the Stoics believed, and it's the greatest lesson you can learn before you die. As we come to the end of this video, take a moment to reflect on the 7 Stoic lessons we've explored together. These aren't just ancient ideas, They are powerful tools that can help you live a life of purpose, peace, and wisdom. Remember, life is fragile. We all have a limited time, and the Stoics taught us that by focusing on what truly matters, we can live our best lives. Memento Mori reminds us that death is inevitable, so don't waste a single moment. Focus only on what you can control and embrace the challenges life throws at you with love and acceptance. The Stoics didn't believe in just surviving. They believed in living fully and virtuously, regardless of the circumstances. By applying these lessons, you're not just preparing for the end of life, you're transforming how you live right now. Imagine looking back and knowing you've spent your time wisely, embracing every moment with gratitude and strength. So, as you move forward, carry these Stoic lessons with you. Practice them daily, and let them guide you to a life that's truly worth living. Don't wait for tomorrow, take action today. Because, as the Stoics remind us, today is the only day we truly have. If you found these lessons valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. And remember, this journey toward a better life starts with a single step. Make yours now.